since the video broke up for just a half a second, now I'm flipping it back to the normal instead of the back view, so you see CRC. And this is, and like I said, this is James Surgeon talking. And how did I get involved with cultural leadership? Well, back in 2007, there was a program called Injustice for All. And there, we sent classes on something what's called a transformational journey, where they go actually throughout the United States and see several things that are significant to these civil rights movement throughout the 1950s and 60s, the era that we're familiar with, the era now that, as myself being born in 1965, you actually would call it, I call it product of the dream. Something that you guys will actually see possibly in writing sometime soon. But that program, Karen Kalish, who is the founder of Cultural Leadership in St. Louis, also talked about an organization she founded in Washington, D.C. called Operation Understanding. And to me, having been a Priory grad and African American, I didn't get the opportunity to speak as much and be as engaged in social justice conversation, because it was 1980. I mean, everyone, people were just understanding what did it mean? What did it mean to be me? What did it mean to be African American? I remember, making a parody of Rapper's Delight, and everybody got a kick out of it. But as it was back then, to know Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Who, the Stones, and some of the other hard rock stuff of the 70s, it was equally important for my friends to understand me and understand the Sugar Hill Gang and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and those things, the early days of hip hop. And I have always been proud of the class of 1983 as one of the more progressive, open-minded classes that Priory has ever had. And I could talk about them, and I will at some other point, but the point here is cultural leadership again. And once I go to the second piece of this, I will talk about my cultural leadership experience. There's going to be a link to my YouTube to this, where you can donate to cultural leadership and see how these kids have changed over the years. So look forward to that, and I will talk to you in a minute.